Let's get right into it. Number 11. The Nostril Shift. You probably think you're breathing through both nostrils right now, but your nose is actually a liar. Every few hours, your autonomic nervous system engages in something called the nasal cycle. It swells the tissue in one nostril to partially block it, forcing the other one to do all the heavy lifting. Then it switches sides like a relay race. This happens so your smell receptors can take turns resting and staying moist, and because some smells are actually easier to detect in slow-moving air versus fast-moving air. Your nose is basically a sophisticated air filtration system that operates on a strict union-mandated break schedule. Number 10. The Earth's hum. If you've ever sat in total silence and felt a weird, low-frequency vibration that seemed to vibrate your very soul, you aren't going crazy, the planet is just humming at you. Scientists have finally confirmed that the Earth emits a constant, low-frequency, microseismic hum caused by the literal pounding of ocean waves against the seafloor. It's a sound that is too low for your ears to hear, but your body can absolutely feel it. This hum is constant, all the time, and it changes based on the weather. You spend your entire life vibrating in harmony with the Pacific Ocean's latest temper tantrum. It's less of a oneness with nature and more of a the floor is a giant wet subwoofer situation. Number 9. Your skin sees light. We generally assume that eyes have a monopoly on vision, but it turns out your skin is a bit of a voyeur. Researchers found that human skin contains opsins, the same light-sensitive proteins found in your retinas. While your skin isn't seeing pictures of the world, it is detecting UV radiation and blue light independently of your eyes. Your skin can literally see when it's being exposed to the sun and starts the tanning process as a defensive reaction before your brain even realizes you forgot the sunscreen. You are essentially a giant, walking eyeball that just happens to be covered in hair and bad tattoos. Number 8. Muscle memory is literal. We've always used the term muscle memory to describe why you can still ride a bike after 10 years of sitting on the couch, but we thought the memory part was stored safely in your head. Science just pulled a fast one on us. Your actual muscle cells have a physical memory of being fit. When you work out, your muscle fibers gain new nuclei. Even if you stop exercising and your muscles shrink back down to pool noodle status, those extra nuclei don't disappear. They just go into sleep mode. The moment you start lifting again, they wake up and fast-track your gains. Your biceps are basically keeping receipts of every gym session you've ever had, just in case you decide to stop being a professional couch potato. Number 7. The heart's memory. If you've ever felt a gut feeling in your chest, it turns out your heart might actually be thinking for itself. We used to believe the heart was just a glorified muscular pump, a biological bellows keeping the pipes pressurized. But researchers have discovered that the heart contains an intricate network of roughly 40,000 neurons, essentially a little brain. This intrinsic cardiac nervous system can operate independently of the brain. In your skull, learning, feeling, and even making short-term decisions about your cardiovascular health. Your heart isn't just reacting to your emotions, it's participating in them. So when you say your heart isn't in it, you might be making a scientifically accurate statement about your chest brain's current mood. Number 6. The Lithium Leak. Imagine waking up and realizing your brain is basically a high-maintenance smartphone that requires a very specific mineral just to keep from deleting your childhood memories. For decades, we thought lithium was just something doctors gave people to stabilize their moods, or what goes into the battery that you definitely shouldn't lick. But scientists just discovered that lithium occurs naturally in your brain. Not only is it there, but it's actually acting like a tiny, chemical bodyguard for your neurons. If your brain starts running low on this brain juice, it's one of the earliest signs of Alzheimer's. Essentially, your cognitive health isn't just about crosswords and kale, it's about making sure your internal battery isn't leaking. If you feel a bit foggy today, maybe you're just a few micrograms short of a full charge. Number 5. The Bone Hormone. Most of us think of our skeleton as a dusty set of structural beams, basically just there to keep us from collapsing into a puddle of organs on the floor. But scientists recently realized your bones are actually a massive endocrine gland. They produce a hormone called osteocalcin, which acts like a biological go signal for the rest of your body. It tells your brain to remember things, your muscles to use energy, and even regulates your fight or flight response. When you get scared, it's not just adrenaline. Your bones are literally dumping chemicals into your blood to tell you to run. You aren't just a ghost piloting a meat suit, you're a ghost piloting a very chatty, very chemical skeleton. Number 4. Water has a twist. You'd think we'd have H2O figured out by now, considering we're mostly made of the stuff. But water just threw a curveball. Researchers recently discovered that at certain temperatures, liquid water actually exists in 2 distinct phases, at the same time, one high density and one low density. They don't mix, like oil and vinegar, but they are both just water. This means water is essentially 2 different liquids, pretending to be one. It's the ultimate "it's complicated" relationship. This tiny molecular quirk is likely the reason water behaves so weirdly compared to every other liquid on Earth. Your refreshing glass of ice water is actually a chaotic structural civil war happening at a molecular level. Number 3. Trees are socialists. Forests aren't just a collection of individual trees competing for sunlight. They are a massive, underground communist collective. Scientists recently mapped the Wood Wide Web, a complex fungal network that connects the roots of different tree species. Through this system, trees actually trade resources. If one tree is stuck in the shade and starving, its neighbors will literally pump excess sugar and nutrients through the fungus to keep it alive. They even send chemical warnings about pests to their buddies miles away. The forest is less like a silent park and more like a high-speed fiber optic network where everyone is sharing the Wi-Fi. Basically, the plants in your backyard are better at community organizing than your neighborhood's HOA. Number 2. The ghost of your cravings. We used to think that when you lose weight, the fat burns up like fuel in a furnace. But physics says matter can't just vanish, and neither does your fat. Scientists have pointed out that when you lose weight, you are actually exhaling it. Your fat breaks down into water and carbon dioxide. The water leaves through your sweat and pee, but the vast majority of that weight leaves through your lungs. You are literally breathing your former self out into the atmosphere. Every time you exhale at the gym, you're tossing a tiny piece of your unwanted cargo into the air for someone else to walk through. You aren't just getting fit, you're evaporating. Number 1. The gut's second job. You've probably heard that your gut is your second brain, which sounds like a cute marketing slogan for expensive yogurt until you realize it's actually running a secret shadow government. Scientists used to think the gut-brain axis was a one-way street, where the brain shouted orders and the stomach just grumbled in protest. New research shows that your gut bacteria are actually hacking your vagus nerve to send fake signals to your head. They can literally trigger cravings for specific junk foods because they want the sugar, not you. You aren't actually hungry for that questionable 2 in the morning burrito. You're just being piloted like a giant, fleshy mecha suit by a colony of microscopic yeast that has zero regard for your beach body or your dignity. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.